What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Mountain Motorsports in Roswell, and in front of us we have a KTM Superduke 1290R. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I just got back from riding this thing and my GoPro stopped. So if you could like the video, subscribe to the channel for more first rides, because my GoPro's confidence is obviously hit pretty hard. And if you guys like this video, that might help the GoPro out. Actually stay on during this whole first ride. But regardless, this is KTM's big boy naked bike. The last time I rode one of these was in 2015. I'm really excited because I already know how it rides. Anyways, guys, let's try round two and get this bike started. But it's fancy. You notice no keyhole. Well, that's because the motorcycle world is now getting caught up with the car world. We have a key fob. We push this down, we push this button, and we push it. Yeah, now it's on or something. I mean, we got a little flicky key that I'll play with all day long, so we'll put that away. This, it's in first. I hope it won't start. Come on, Duke. Come on, Super Duke. Where you at, bro? There we are. Neutral. There she is, boys and girls, and let's get the video started after I put the key back in my pocket.
So guys, this first art episode is brought to you by the guys over at Ridge Wallets. They're the guys that make these really slick looking wallets. These wallets are RFID blocking, slim, and come with a lifetime guarantee. If you guys are in the market for a new wallet, and I love mine so far, you can get 10% off and free worldwide shipping if you go to ridgewallet.com/chase and use the code CHASE. I'll leave a link in the description for you guys. Thanks, Ridge, for sponsoring this video. If you guys want to support a company that's supporting me to make better first rides for you guys, make sure to go check out ridgewallet.com/chase and use the code CHASE to get 10% off a brand new awesome wallet.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's hot as Satan, so we're going to try to get this thing going as fast as possible. This is going to be the sound check for the 2019 KTM Superduke 1290R. Patrick, please God, get over here and crank this bike up so I can start riding it before I literally sweat to death. Thank you, Patrick. We're now both going to go sweat to death. We'll start the first ride now. You guys want to race?
Are you rolling?
Yeah, I am now, hopefully. Is the GoPro going?
Yeah, it's still blinking.
Thank God. All right, then that means I might able to be... Just because you did that, you're going in the video so everybody can shame you in the comments. All right, guys, 2019 KTM Superduke 1290R, round two. Oh, let me tell you how high I am. Not high, that's illegal in Georgia. Oh look, there's a mirror. You can see that I can almost flat foot, but I can't flat foot both feet. So I would say it's like medium high. I'm 5'10", so judge how tall you are. I don't know my inseam. One day I will find out so I can tell you guys, but as of right now, I don't know what the inseam is. So like I said, the last time I rode one of these was in 2015. I borrowed a buddy's, and it was aggressive, but Oh, I didn't put it in rain mode. It was aggressive, but I liked it a lot. So let's, hold on, it's set, 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 down, down, rain, set, close throttle, back, back. Okay, we're in rain mode now. So we've got modes. Obviously with a motorcycle this huge, this thing is a 1290, you need modes. We're in rain mode currently. Engine braking's a little strong, but honestly the throttling is really not that bad. It's controllable. Granted, we're in rain mode, so that's going to be your slowest mode. But I really like having modes in bikes, you know, especially when you've got a lot of engine to deal with. Just helps the rider out and managing the engine. Kind of going back and forth in the lane is super nimble, like very easy. Does not take, I'm not going to do that to run into the guy. It does not take a lot of force to get this bike back and forth. So as far as body position goes, I'm going to call this bike mildly aggressive. It's a naked and I'm upright. I've got these kind of uprightish handlebars, but they're kind of low. I'm kind of leaned forward a little bit. The seat's kind of hard and my legs feel like I'm slightly aggressive. Nothing even close to a Super Sport, but you know, it's not as like laid back and chill as some of the other naked bikes. Now that we've got a red light, I'm going to put it in what ended up being my favorite mode on the first time I actually did the first ride. So set, 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 down, set. So the menu is a little cumbersome to get through. You guys just saw that. If we do set, we can go through all the traction control, ABS mode, and all this kind of stuff. It's got Bluetooth. That's pretty cool. Heated grips, very nice. Daylight running light you can turn on. Audio setup. So the menus are pretty cool. You can get all into the menus if you want. I'm not going to be doing that. The bike does have adjustable front suspension, and I do believe it has adjustable rear suspension, if I remember correctly. I will note the mirrors are not stock. That's the only thing not stock about this motorcycle. Typically the mirrors come up here, but Mountain installed the little side mirrors, which I'm a huge fan of. They look awesome. All right, street mode on the Superduke. Already from the absolute get-go, you can tell that the aggression level has been bumped up like by 10. 10 being a lot on the bump up meter. Yeah, in rain mode, you can tell that the engine's turned down a lot and it's making it really controllable, but street mode kind of opens it up to the point where you've got some engine to play with. Like, this will get you in trouble. I mean, don't get me wrong, rain mode will definitely get you in trouble, but street mode will get you in trouble much faster. I told you guys that I've already ridden this bike around during the first ride and the GoPro wasn't on. GoPro check, GoPro on. Sweet, get used to seeing that happening in this video. So I've rode this bike around town for like 45 minutes and now I'm back. And now I'm off again and the bike's really not that hot. It's hot as hell today, but my legs aren't super cooking. So that's really good to see. That's, you know, one of the things that KTM supposedly did with this bike is make it, they took their 2015 bike and made it, they like refined it better to make it a better controlled motorcycle for like street use. And if that's the goal, then you don't want a motorcycle that's going to cook your legs if you're riding it like the majority of us ride it, you know, around town and stuff like that. Man, I gotta tell you, I really, truly love the way the power is delivered on this bike. The throttle response in street mode specifically, I find phenomenal. I don't know if it just fits my riding style better, but I am here for it. There's something about the clutch, the throttle control, and in street mode, it might just be the bike fits me really well with all of that as a rider, like personally, but I truly love the clutch and the throttle response from this bike, specifically from a get-go. Like, it's very smooth. It almost gives you like this confidence of riding, and it makes it, you feel safer on the bike. Like, if you feel really comfortable on a bike, you're able to, you know, be smarter and ride better. I've never ridden this bike before today, but just having ridden around the very little that I have, I already feel like really comfortable on the bike. Now again, like I said, maybe this bike just fits my riding style perfectly, but it's making me feel really confident. Like, I feel like I know what the throttle's gonna do, I know what the controls and handling is gonna do, and it makes it predictable and makes it easy for you to not have to overthink. You know what I mean? It's not like some bikes where the throttle isn't consistent the entire throttle way, like the entire rev range. Oh God, I love this thing. I truly love this thing. I was saying back a minute ago, the engine braking down low in the rev range is a little light, but the second you get pretty high in the rev range, suddenly you can really start getting some engine braking, like some serious engine braking. And that's exactly like I like it. Like, if you're gonna be high in the rev range, you're probably gonna be going a little faster. You're gonna want a little more stopping power. You're gonna get that if you're high in the revs and going quick. Then if you're going slow through traffic, you don't want to be surprised by the engine braking, so it's gonna be a lot lighter. So however that's geared, or whatever the hell kind of science KTM had to do to make that happen, freaking solid to you. Look at that. Oh, I love that. I really enjoy starting this bike from not going and going. Nice job, KTM. I'm probably going to say that a few more times about this throttle and the clutch, but you know, when you find a combo that works really well, I feel like I want to continuously tell you guys that so you understand. GoPro check. GoPro still going. All right, so we're on the refined beast. The beast that's supposed to be able to tame the streets. That is what KTM has supposedly done on this bike. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, man, if everything I read is true, that KTM they took their Superduke and they were like, hey, we need to make this better for the street. If that's legit what they did, then holy shit, did they do that well. I feel relatively comfortable saying this might be the best feeling street motorcycle I've ever ridden. Everything feels like it's the way it's supposed to be. It's super light. I can dip in and out of traffic. I don't have a lot of stuff going on up here, so I can focus on what all the stupid drivers ahead of me. It's got oodles of power that will take me anywhere I need to go at a blistering pace. And it's got cruise control, so if you're on the highway chilling, you can set it on cruise control. How KTM took a 1290 engine, put it in a naked frame, and made it an amazing street riding motorcycle, I don't know. I don't know how they did that, but all I know is whatever they've done, they did a phenomenal job with. Let's get it on sport mode for the highway. That way I can feel it at its most epic. Naked bikes, in my personal opinion, are the most amazing motorcycles. They're great at so many things, but where they're notoriously terrible is the highway. We've got this naked bike, we're upright, we're comfortable, but we don't have anything blocking the wind most of the time. So that's typically where they kind of suffer some points. Obviously, I'm not worried about this engine handling the highway because, like, how could it not? But I worry about that wind. That would be the only thing that would suck for a naked bike that you want to take to the mountains. GoPro, this is gonna be the GoPro mirror. Now I can turn, look at that, we've been recording for 14 minutes. Awesome. While we're stuck at a red light, I will say one of the negatives of this bike is this dash. Like, for all the electronics it can do, I feel like the dash kind of deserves to be a little better. It's colored, which is great, but I don't know, I feel like for such, like, this bike is like 18 grand or something like that. For that, I kind of want a higher definition dash. I'm not really a fan of all the fonts and stuff like that. I don't think they match the bike personally, so I'm not a fan. Like, but then, you know, the dash whole situation, that's a personal preference. So you guys might like it, but this whole situation, like, it gives me all the info that I need, which is great, but I just don't like the way it looks. It's weird when you're not going quick in sport mode on this thing. If you're not pushing it hard, it does feel a little jittery. That's interesting. Man, that's weird. Without even going, the bike I can tell it's in sport mode. It like shakes more and feels like it wants to rip my face off more. All right, guys, 2019 KTM Superduke 1290R highway test. We are in sport mode. I am an inexperienced rider, and here we go. Just kidding, I'm not an inexperienced rider, but you know. Whoa, the engine braking is not something to be trifled with. I bet we can just jump in here and do what we gotta do. Oh, yep. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We are sufficiently able to, okay. No, truck, do what you gotta do, bro. I'm over here. Holy cow. That is nuts. Oh, there we go. All right, thank you, wind. Please bring me to a stop immediately. Woo! Man, that does not get old ever. One of the awesome things, and also negative things about a naked, is when you're on the highway, you feel all of the wind. But when you have an engine this powerful, it makes you feel like you're going so much faster. Holy crap. Oh my goodness, that was awesome. I love highway pulls on big engine motorcycles. All right, we're in 5th gear going, what, 80? Yeah, so that's plenty of power to get you around traffic, but not be like rip your handlebars off situation. So you throw the bike into 6 and now it's like your overdrive gear. You can just throttle it up and you don't go that hard, which is really nice. So that way you'd be cruising in. All right, so the wind on the highway is obviously going to be terrible. I feel it everywhere other than like this 1 inch above the gas tank. So if you wanted to tuck in, you'd have to get down here to feel no wind. Even then, you're going to feel some. Yeah, wind's going to be pretty bad, but at least it's universal. You know, your whole body's going to deal with it. Let's try this cruise control. What do? Push up and over to start it and then set. So that's pretty cool. Everything's pretty compact with the cruise control. I like how tiny it is, and I like that it tells me how fast I'm going, but I think I would prefer something like on the Nikon. It seems like a more regular cruise control situation. I can reach the cruise control with one hand though, so that's really nice. Can I push it down to go slower? And then up to go faster, right? Oh, that's cool. So it's adjustable and everything. That's nice. All right, so to turn it off, we do up and over again. Holy shit. All right, cruise control, solid move. You guys know I love that cruise control. It makes riding this bike to wherever you want to ride it to so much nicer. All right, we got our big turn coming up. I'm gonna try to get it back in street mode. Sport mode's cool, but I think I personally prefer street mode, honestly. It's not as aggressive, it's a little more refined, and I'm gonna slow down some so I can enjoy this turn, because I very rarely get to. I'm gonna probably run into this truck in about 1 second, but hey, oh well. The Superduke is a street-oriented motorcycle, I will say that, and oh my god, you can feel it. Just going over a little bit, and we're not even going hard. So this bike, you do kind of sit upright more, and you can tell that helps out with the maneuvering of the bike, because when your weight's up top, your weight kind of leans into a turn, and it just helps you get into a turn better. I prefer bikes like that. The R6 is like that, and other super sports are, but most of the time you don't get that on a naked bike, so it's really nice to have that, because that way you do feel more aggressive. It kind of pushes you towards that more aggressive side. Woo! My goodness. Like I said, so that situation, the lane was ending, I didn't know that, and I had to pass a truck, and I was not in the right gear, but this bike has so much power, I was able to just fly up, and it was all controllable. It wasn't something like the FZ09 that wants to rip you off the bike 24/7. Put this bike into street mode and you've got all that power, but you can control it so easily. One thing I do feel like I'm kind of missing on this bike is a quick shifter. I feel like this bike really needs that. One thing I did notice on the highway is, you guys, so we're down here on the city streets going like 45, and the bike just dips over really quickly, but one thing that typically means if the bike dips over really quickly is that when you get on the highway, you kind of sacrifice some stability. So you either get agility on the streets or stability on the highway. But I feel like the faster this bike goes, the more stable it gets. Now, I know that the faster you go on a bike in general, the more stable it gets, but on city streets right now, it doesn't take anything for me to lean this entire bike over. Whereas on the highway, I did feel like it was taking a decent amount of input. So KTM's done some weird thing where it feels more stable the faster you go, which is exactly what you want. I just don't know how they achieve that. Whatever they did, I'm super happy with it, but it's just kind of one of those things I'm chalking up to science or magic. I don't really care which one. As long as this bike feels as phenomenal as it does, I'm okay with it. This bike is really feeling like a bike that would be phenomenal to have day to day, but then if you wanted to do a track day, no problem. Oh man, when you are up in the revs, this thing is shaking all over the place. I kind of like it though, because when the bike shakes, you know that you're high in the rev range and you're about to cause some chaos. All right, we're gonna just go around you. There it is. Man, I really appreciate and enjoy bikes that when you lean them over, they feel better. I love that. This is most definitely one of those bikes. It just feels comfortable. Like it feels like the bike settles in when you lean into a turn with this thing. There's the shaking. Oh, that's it. The shaking kind of like gets you all tingly, like, hey, just so you know, you're in that rev range, stuff's about to happen. Oh man, this is such a phenomenal bike. Now I know we're here in the little turnaround spot. You guys are gonna be like, Chase, well, the bike wheelie. Well, unless you're like crazy, it's a Superduke 1290. It's going to wheelie. I'm in street mode. I got traction control. Traction control ain't gonna let me wheelie. That wheel will come up, trust. Like the wheel's not on the ground right now, right? The wheel's not there. But that's why you got street mode. That way you can just hammer and the bike gonna keep you safe. That's why I like rider modes. Also, I'm terrible at wheeling. Unless it's on my WR. I feel like I can wheelie that thing pretty well. Let me just tell you guys right now, I feel like I have never fit a motorcycle as good as I do this one. A little bit of clutching makes you happy. Woo! I don't know, man. I'm starting to think that this bike is just pound for pound what I'm looking for in a motorcycle. I'm not being paid. I don't get paid to do this shit other than the ads on the videos, but man, KTM has built my motorcycle. Holy crap. I truly don't know what else I could ask for a bike. I personally feel like this is one of the best looking motorcycles on the market. The orange is kind of like whatever, but you know, I would prefer red, but that's a KTM thing, so I feel you. But this bike is literally everything I could ask for in a motorcycle. It's got a capable engine, it's got cruise control, it's slightly aggressive yet comfortable, so I could ride this for a long time. The seat's thin and a little hard, but you know, I've been on the bike for over an hour now and I'm fine. I'm doing good. Also, the bike's got cruise control, so it's gonna help me get to the mountain so I'm not fatigued by the time I get there. Then I get to the mountains and it's slightly aggressive, does amazing in technical riding. I don't know, guys. I truly feel like I might have found my perfect bike. This bike has got everything. Now I will say, the FZ10 is also on my perfect bike list. I haven't ridden one in a while, so I do want to ride like a 2019 FZ10 because right now, for me personally, this is not for you guys, this is me being selfish. GoPro check. GoPro's still on. Oh wait, I forgot, we got a whole camera for that. GoPro still on. Damn right. Good job, GoPro. See? You guys liked the video and subscribed and the GoPro stayed on. I tried to tell you guys. That was the problem. You guys weren't liking and subscribing. Anyway, a long time ago, circa 2015, I rode a Yamaha FZ10, and to this day, that bike might have been the most perfect bike for me until right now. Now, granted, I'm judging a 2015 on a 2019. That ain't fair. I'm gonna hold off till I ride that 2019 FZ10. But as of right now, my selfish response to this motorcycle is that this KTM Superduke 1290R is the most perfect motorcycle for me. Every single thing about this motorcycle I like. I like that the braking it's like progressive. It's a little light up front, and just in case I want a little bit of braking, but if I get a handful, that shit is gonna bring me to a stop really quick. Got a pretty mushy rear brake, but it actually slows you down some, so that way if you wanna use the rear brake in conjunction with the front, you got it. And even more to that fact, we're about to pull off up here. We're gonna get off the bike, walk around it for a second, and I'm gonna show you guys even more why I like this bike so much. There's my shakiness, and dial it in, just pulling it through. Bike feels at home when it's over. All right, let's pull over and take a gander at the 2019 KTM Superduke 1290R. Let's get this technical fanciness. Now to turn the bike off, you just press that in. The bike turns off because remember we got the key in the pocket. Oh man, look at that beauty. I truly love the way this bike looks, and I feel like it might be one of the best looking bikes on the market. I am all here for this insecty looking head with this razor blade looking side. I'm sold on the trellis frame. This might be the only bike that the front turn signals look good stock. Like, this don't need to be changed. Now let's talk about some stuff that does need to be changed other than that dash. That exhaust, while it sounds perfect to me, sounds great, looks terrible. I literally just want a smaller one. I'll deal with the ugly black and silver or whatever, and you guys know this thing needs to go. We got this sharp angle. Look how light, look how thin this bike looks. And there's 1290 cc's of just road destroying death in there. You know what, I can't just park this bike like this and not take a photo. If you guys want to see the photo I'm about to take, or any of the other photos I take on this motorcycle, you got two options. You can go to my Instagram. It's at C2dubpics. It's on the screen right now. And that way you can see this photo. If you want to see some of the other awesome photos I take of this motorcycle, you can go to Chaseontwowheels.com. I do a first ride blog post on all the bikes I do a first ride on, and there you can get some like thumbnail-y, really pretty photos if you want like a phone background or something. But for now, we're just doing the cell phone. All right, without further ado, I just want to get back on the bike. I don't need to tell you guys, I got Brembo brakes. They feel solid. It's got a single-sided swing arm, which is fancy. Hell of a motorcycle. What's cool, this bike's expensive, right? Super expensive. You got to change two things to make it, to me, where I would want it: the exhaust and the fender, and you're done. There's literally nothing else to change. Oh man, and before we get started, GoPro check. Solid on GoPro check. All right, we got the fancy turn on. It's that and that again. Turns it on. Key button turns it on. I hear stuff. There we go. We are in neutral. We hit set to make that go away. We turn it on, and the beast is alive. Oh my God, the clutch and the throttle. They feel so good. I want every motorcycle to feel like this. I just don't want to spend $18,000 on it. KTM, I just want to say, if you guys have too many Super Dukes in the factory and you need me to take one from you, I will gladly do so. This is going to be the end of the video where I tell you guys who needs to buy this motorcycle other than myself. Can we make this? Yeah, we can make that. Oh my God. And look, here's the thing I love, right? Super aggressive if I want to ride in the mountains, but if I'm on city streets, I'm in street mode, third gear. Look at this. Chilling. I'm comfortable. I'm on a really awesome looking motorcycle. Like, what else can you ask for? All right, let's sum the video up. My favorite motorcycle that I've done a first ride on, bar none. The only thing as close to this, to me personally, that would be a better bike for me, might be the FZ10, but I'm holding off until I ride the 2019 model. This is the bike I'm going to be thinking about when I ride that FZ10 2019. That's what I'm saying. Throttle response in street mode is perfect for the street, which is far more rare than you would think. Rain mode and the other modes feel nice. I like that the modes on this bike actually feel like the way they should. Sport mode makes it feel jittery, like it drank too much coffee and it wants to just run a mile. Rain mode seems tamed and controllable. I think the clutch pull and the clutch feels one of the best clutches I've ever felt, and that stock, I hope that's stock, feels amazing. The throttle response in all the modes I love. I love street mode specifically for what we're doing here. The seat is pretty comfortable. It's pretty thin and hard, but it feels good. I like the riding position. You're slightly upright. I'm gonna call it mildly aggressive. And mildly aggressive, that's the handlebar, that's the seat height, that's the pegs, that's everything combined is that mildly aggressive. I love how flicky it is on the street, but then becomes more stable on the highway. And obviously looks is subjective, but I think this is one of the top 5 looking motorcycles on the market right now. It is a phenomenal motorcycle. You are gonna pay every cent for it. $18,000 is a ton of money. I am very well aware of that. But if you have the money and you are like me, where you are looking for a bike that can be done, 70% of the riding is on the street. So you want it to be comfortable. You want to be able to handle the highway, but you want to dip in and out of traffic easily. But you got that 20 or 30% of your riding that's up in the mountains and you want to go have a really good weekend. You got 2 days a month that you can go ride in the mountains and you want to enjoy every single second of it. It's going to be really hard to find a better motorcycle than this. I think if KTM's job, if the things I read that KTM was, they took their 2015 and they said we need to make it better for the street, if that's their goal, then they have knocked this out of the park. This is, to me, the best motorcycle you can buy for street purpose use. And that's all I have. KTM, you get a huge freaking clap for this motorcycle. You guys did an amazing job. I got nothing else to say, man. Good freaking job. But guys, before we get out of here, I do want to say, if you enjoy First Rides and you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe. Ton of the people that watch First Rides aren't actually subscribed to the Chaseontwowheels YouTube channel. I do a ton of motorcycle reviews, I do a ton of gear reviews, and I do some motorcycle builds where we give bikes away, and it's all motorcycle related. So if you're a fan of the motorcycle stuff, I would really like you to consider subscribing and make sure to like the video. If you're watching the video to this point, you hadn't liked it yet, shame on you. But guys, big shout out to the guys over at Mountain Motorsports. They're the dealership that let my ass just walk in and ride any bike I want for you guys, to let you know what it's like riding the bikes around for the first time. If you guys go in there, make sure to let them know you are there because Chaseontwowheels sent you there. And Mountain Motorsports has like 6 or 7 locations in North Georgia. So if you're in the North Georgia area, there's a high likelihood there's a Mountain Motorsports close to you. And guys, that's all I got. I appreciate you riding around with me. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was helpful for you. And if it was, make sure to share it out to somebody that you think would is looking into a super naked, because if they got the pockets, this is the bike to spend it on. Anyways, guys, I'm Chaseontwowheels. I'll see you on the next one. Finally, GoPro check. GoPro's still going. Looks like we don't got a problem this time. Outro crew, let me know if you were in my position. If Yamaha came to you and they were like, hey, we'll give you an FZ10 if you want it, and then KTM at the same time came to you, it was like, hey, we'll give you a Superduke if you want it, which one would you pick? I don't have an answer for it. I can't even answer that. I love both of those bikes so freaking much. Anyways, I appreciate you guys getting to the end of the video. You guys get a mental high five from me, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.